All right, so exercise 1.4.3 asks us to identify the method used in a particular situation. So this could definitely be something you'd see on a test. You might also see the opposite where I just give you this information up at the top and then I ask you to tell me how you would do a stratified sample or how you would do a cluster sample. There's a question similar to that in your homework as well for part one. So in this particular situation, we have the first one. A survey is being taken to ascertain student opinions. We're picking 100 students out of 2,000. And for each, let's figure out what type of sampling is being used. So as always, pause this. You have the sampling methods listed above, so you can just look up and determine which method. All right, so if you're coming back, we have our different ones. A, we're picking every 20th name. This is our systematic, right? Our simple random sampling with a system. Super easy to spot. B is usually where the wheels fall off because B is the first time we see we're separating students by class. So we have some grouping going on. But grouping just means it could be stratified or it could be clustered, right? Pick a random sample of size 25 from each of the four groups and then combine these students to make one sample. This, right, picking a sample of size 25, we're still sampling students, right? All we have done is put them into their four different hats, and we're taking a little sample from each hat and combining them. This is stratified. Let's see how that's different from D. I'm just going to jump to D so we can see stratified versus cluster. D says separate the students by homeroom. So we're still doing the separating, but now it's by homeroom, right, versus by class. So we still have our grouping. But then look what happens. We pick our random sample of 4 homerooms. We're no longer sampling students. We're sampling the entire homeroom, right? If the homeroom is selected, all the students are included in this sample. This is a cluster. So in stratified, we go to each group and we take a little bit, making sure we have a really good sample. In cluster, we take entire groups into our sample, making it a little bit easier on us. There traditionally is a nice keyword to give you a pat on the back that you got these right. In stratified, you almost always see the word each because we had to go to each and every one of those groups and take a little bit. And in cluster, you almost always see the word all because for the group, every single person was included, right? Don't just look for those words. Think more about this mechanic. Who is being sampled? Is it people or is it groups? But that's the help. And then in C, let's use a really outdated number table to choose 100 names. That's just our simple random sample. Nothing exciting going on there.